And yeah, they might all sound cliche, but I can say after 2 years of trying to starting my first venture, that they become truths in my life as well. And one of them is definitely passion. I didn't graduate my senior year of college thinking I wanted to go into food or specifically banana ice cream. But passion is just a really important thing. It's such a unique emotion. It's one that you cannot fabricate, but it kind of erupts from the inside. So when you start chasing passion, you can just dive deeper and deeper into it, and it starts coming very naturally. Another huge quality is being able to think about design. And I guess a lot of people think about design, they might think about, yeah, the iPod, or it's like all related to tech, but the way I like to define design is really just observing the way we interact with the world. So anything from designing our customer experience. We deliver each one of our bowls and cups to our customers because we don't want them to be waiting around the counter impatiently. We want them to be enjoying the space that we put a lot of love into creating. That was a design choice right there. We make a million design choices every day within the process design of how we design and craft each one of our bowls. So I think learning to appreciate design and pay attention to it is a major key for not just any entrepreneur, but any profession that you're going to go into. And last, I'll just say persistence and hard work.
So I used to talk to people about this 60-40-20 model. And the 60-40-20 is 60 minutes of focused work where you actually turn off your email, you turn off your phone, don't communicate with the outside world, put up a sign at your desk so nobody talks to you, and you focus for 60 minutes. And psychological research will show that basically about an hour is as much time as you can actually focus on one particular thing. So that's pretty well, understood and accepted. So you take that 60 minutes and you focus on something, and then you just stop, and then you reconnect, phone, email, everything. You can check in with people, and you spend 40 minutes doing that. And then you take 20 minutes and you let your brain take a break, go for a walk, do some yoga, meditate, whatever it is. And if you were to do that 4 times a day, make 8 hours, you'd have 4 hours of actual work plus the rest of the time doing other stuff. And I've tried it a bunch, and it's great. When you do it, it's incredible. You're like, wow, I got so much done today. But it's really hard to stick to. People want meetings and that sort of thing. So I think if you're more disciplined than I am as an entrepreneur, and you can chunk off those times and you can do that, I think that would be exceptionally effective. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I just have never really been able to commit to it 5 days a week to actually have that sort of time. But I do tend to take those periods of time, put my headphones in, tell everybody not to bother me, turn the email off, and just focus on things when things really need to get done. But as an entrepreneur, you're wearing a million hats. And so there's just a million things coming at you at any given time. There's always fires to be put out. And that's not to make excuses, that's legit. Every entrepreneur will be able to say that. And it's just tough. It's tough to find focus. So I end up working a lot of nights and weekends to catch up on things that I should be doing 9 to 5. So it is what it is.
I think that above everything else, for me, it would be just being able to stick in there and work. Yeah, it's just, I'm, I guess, kind of old school bootstrap startup type. And so you just get in there and you do what you need to do. Whatever needs to get done, you just figure out how to get it done. Unless you're willing to work hard, because once you have a business, it's always on. That's your little baby. So if you're not willing to do that, at least for a while, it's not going to be for you.
I think you really need to know. You really need to know what you're getting into. And a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is sexy, and it's like, oh, you watch Silicon Valley, and it's so not sexy. I mean, you need to be extremely risk tolerant. you know, if you want to have that safety net of that paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, that is not the case when you're an entrepreneur, especially in early stage. Needing to wear multiple hats. If you want to be really good at a couple things, early stage entrepreneurship is not for you. You know, you're the person that is, you know, doing the social media campaign all the way to doing the financial modeling. I mean, that's the thing that's really necessary about having a team, you know, with complementary skill sets. You need to be a problem solver. You know, there's no kind of a victim like mentality, like, oh, woe is me. It's, you got to kill what you eat. There were times where literally we were like super close to broke, if not broke. And we're like, all right, how can we bring in $5,000 this month? All right, what do we need to do? And we just went out and did it. You know, it was like kind of like, I don't know, eat what you kill. So I think in terms of being an entrepreneur, I mean, you really need to know, you know, that it's going to be a long ride and that you have to put in long hours, and it may not work out. It's not always a success story.
I think to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have a really clear vision of where you want to go, because there's going to be a lot of hurdles, a lot of blockades getting in your way, and it's constantly, you know, things are never straightforward, whether it's dealing with finances, dealing with staff, customer relationships, flat tires, you know, you name it, it's going to be thrown at you. Competition's going to show up. There may be personal or insults kind of thrown at your way just because of either what you're doing or the perception of what you're doing, or just people don't like seeing success happening. So it's really, you know, a lot of times when you hear from entrepreneurs, you hear all the good stuff like, yeah, started this company, went here, and now we're there, and it's great. But it's really all the in-between that is a true story of what it takes.
To be a successful entrepreneur, I'm still a small company, so I'm not sure how successful I am. Like, I don't want to put out that I'm super, I'm not a corporation, and you know, every day I get up and I work really hard for what I have and what I think the future is going to hold for me. So I think what it takes to be successful, it's like a daily thing, it's like, what does it take to be happy? It's a daily thing. You wake up and you work hard for what you want, and you keep your mind focused on where you're going, and you keep your employees or your friends or the people around you positive. They all have to be positive and also focused on where you're going and where they're going, like communication and all those things. So basically, what it takes to be successful is also what it takes to be happy. And it's a job. It's work.
You just got to do it. Just like Nike says, you just got to do it. Get out there and just do it. You got to believe in yourself. I mean, all those super stereotypical things you see, like those motivational videos on YouTube and things like that. They're all right. They're all completely spot on. They're not off at all. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to trust yourself. You got to talk to people. You got to make connections. But just the belief that you're going to do it. And you got to have a vision. The vision is huge. So I'm not talking like, oh, my vision tomorrow is to go and sell some stuff. No, you got to have a long-term vision. Like, okay, well, I want to start with maybe doing one farmer's market this week. You know, in 2 months, I want to be up to 3 farmers markets. But not only that, you want to see yourself in the future. Like, do you want a big house? Do you want some cars? Do you want a family? Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Like, that's fine to play around now and sell some stuff or do whatever you're doing, be an entrepreneur. But like, what's the end goal? Where are you going? Because you're trying to fill the gap of where you're at now until where you're going or where you want to be. And that's, you know, the whole middle is the entrepreneurship part. So I'm not saying you have to reach that goal, but you have to be going somewhere. Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I even doing this? And once you figure out where you're going and what you're doing, then you just have to believe in what you're doing and just grind every single day. And you just got to be all about it. I mean, you can go and do other stuff and surf and skate and this and that, and obviously you can do that and there's no problem, but you got to be every single day. You got to wake up and be like, Monday, game day, let's do this all week. I mean, you don't live for the weekend, live for the week. I mean, like, it's Monday, man, I'm going to go make some sales, I'm going to go talk to this dude, I'm going to go make something happen. So you just got to do it, just do it.
think it takes grit to be a successful entrepreneur, and you have to be passionate. So if you don't believe in what you're doing, and if you're not willing to go broke, and if you give up easily, entrepreneurship's definitely not for you. And a positive attitude. So things always go wrong. Things always take longer than you expect them to. And if you get flustered or if you're constantly seeing the negative, you're not going to last.